Hey Emily, have you ever ordered something from AliExpress and then spent days anxiously waiting for it to arrive?
Oh, absolutely, Jake. The anticipation of waiting for a package is real. But it gets even more nerve-wracking when you see an unexpected status update, like Airline Handover problem at Departure Transport Hub.
Exactly. That status sounds pretty ominous. So, what does it actually mean when we see that on our tracking page?
Airline Handover problem at Departure Transport Hub means there's an issue with your package, and the airline that's supposed to take it to the transit country won't accept it. It's a hiccup that can really delay your package's journey.
That sounds frustrating, but it makes me wonder, why would an airline refuse to take a package? What could possibly go wrong?
There are a few reasons, actually. For instance, your package might contain items considered harmful, like a knife. Airlines and customs offices are very cautious about transporting goods that could be deemed dangerous.
Makes sense. Safety first, right? But I'm guessing there are other reasons too.
Absolutely. Another reason could be contraband contents or incorrect declarations. If an airline suspects that a package contains illegal products, or if there's a mismatch in the declared contents, they'll likely refuse to handle it.
And I suppose there are also restrictions on certain types of goods, depending on the country.
Right again, Jake. Some countries have strict rules about importing items like lithium batteries beyond a certain capacity. If your package falls into that category, airlines might not take the risk, leading to the dreaded airline handover problem at Departure Transport Hub status.
So, what should someone do if their package is stuck with this status for days?
First off, contacting the seller is a good step. They might offer a solution like sending a replacement or issuing a refund. And if the package isn't time-sensitive, being patient until the guaranteed delivery date is advisable. At that point, you can request a refund directly from AliExpress.
Got it. And I've heard that using third-party package tracking services can provide more detailed updates. Is that something you'd recommend?
Definitely, Jake. Services like 17Track and Parcels app can give you a clearer picture of what's happening with your package, especially when the official tracking updates are vague or infrequent.
Thanks for breaking that down, Emily. It's good to know there are steps we can take to resolve or at least understand these shipping issues better.
Absolutely, Jake. And hey, to our listeners out there, have you ever encountered a similar situation with your packages? We'd love to hear your stories and how you dealt with them. Feel free to share your experiences on our social media or podcast platforms.
That's really insightful, Emily. It seems like there are quite a few hurdles that can pop up during international shipping, but it's comforting to know there are steps we can take when things don't go as planned.
Definitely, Jake. And it's important for our listeners to remember that while these situations can be frustrating, they're not entirely out of the ordinary. It's all part of the process when dealing with international shipments.
Right, and speaking of processes, I'm curious about something. With all these potential issues like harmful goods or contraband, how do airlines and customs actually identify these problems? Do they open every package?
Great question, Jake. While they don't open every single package, airlines and customs have their own protocols for screening and identifying potentially problematic shipments. This can include scanning technologies, documentation checks, and sometimes random inspections.
I see. So it's a mix of technology and manual checks. That makes sense. It must be a huge task to ensure everything is safe and legal for transport.
Absolutely, and that's why communication with your seller is key. If there's an issue, they're usually the first ones who can help address it or provide alternatives, like sending a replacement package or offering a refund.
That's a good point. Keeping in touch with the seller can really make a difference in resolving shipping issues. It sounds like patience and communication are essential here.
Exactly, Jake. And for our listeners, if you're ever in doubt or need more detailed information about your package's journey, don't hesitate to use third-party tracking services. They can offer insights that you might not get from the official tracking updates. That's right, Jake. And remember, folks, if you've had an experience with shipping challenges, we're eager to hear about it. Sharing your story could help others facing similar situations.
Absolutely, Emily. And it's not just about knowing what to do. It's also about understanding why these issues happen in the first place. It helps us become more informed consumers and navigate the complexities of international shipping with a bit more ease.
Right, Jake. And speaking of navigating, I think it's crucial for our listeners to know that while these situations can be frustrating, there are actionable steps you can take to mitigate the impact on your delivery.
Exactly. So if you're facing the airline handover problem at departure transport hub status, the first thing you should consider is reaching out to the seller. They're often your best bet for a quick resolution, whether it's a replacement package or a refund.
And let's not forget the importance of patience. If your package isn't time-sensitive, waiting until the guaranteed delivery date before taking further action can sometimes be the best approach. It's all about managing expectations and understanding the process.
That's a great point, Emily. Patience can indeed be a virtue in these situations. But for those who want more immediate clarity on their package's whereabouts, using third-party tracking services like 17Track and Parcels app can be incredibly helpful.
Absolutely, Jake. These services often provide more detailed and frequent updates than the official tracking systems. It's a way to stay informed and possibly even anticipate any further issues that might arise during the shipping process.
It sounds like being proactive and informed are key strategies here. Whether it's communicating with the seller, exercising patience, or utilizing third-party tracking services, there are definitely steps we can take to address and understand these shipping challenges better.